Good day, dear listener, and welcome aboard the Ozma. We have an exciting show planned for you, but before we get too far, a word to the wise. Though Project Ozma is considered to be a comedy, the humor involved is known to contain swearing, allusions to sexual themes, as well as themes of minor violence. A more in-depth description of this content as well as the transcript can be found in the description. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy today's episode.
Do you think the council liked my presentation?
Of course. You worked very hard on it, and it showed.
The amount of work doesn't matter if I didn't even present it right.
You'll find your answers soon enough. It looks like the rest of the leaders and guards are leaving the library now.
We were standing in the library after giving our presentations on our planets. Knihak's was fantastic, as expected. Kamui's was nowhere near as nerdy, but hit all the marks necessary. Mine was not my proudest accomplishment.
Knihak, Kamui! I wanted to congratulate the two of you. I've seen many a presentation in my day, but rarely one so well thought out.
Thank you, King Ampoll. That means a lot coming from you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. It is of the highest honor to receive your praise.
Kiss ass. And mine?
It was memorable.
That's all you have to say?
Percy, we spoke before on this topic of looking for approval, if you recall.
Yes, I do.
Then I think you know where I stand. Tilare, I think it is best we leave these young rulers.
Of course, sir.
Sure, just run away. That's great.
Cheer up, Persephone. I'm sure the council will be more forgiving.
So you think it was actually any good?
Well...
It was awful.
Himeo, please.
Why sugarcoat it? Between Persephone's unusual culture presentation and this mess, I wouldn't be surprised if they sent you home early to prepare for invasion.
I felt my heart drop. Invasion? I mean, I knew what was at stake, but to think they might send us home early? And for what? For this all to have been a big ball of stress, of failure and suffering, and making a complete fool of myself in front of aliens. Not even actual people. Aliens. Who didn't even get Earth's nuances. Who all thought we were just big weirdos because we didn't fall in line with their norm. Okay. So maybe I was starting to get irrationally angry, but it snapped me out of the quiet simmering I was dealing with after the presentation. Great! Pack it up, lads! We're losing Earth!
Percy! Invasion! You're joking, right?
Why would I joke about this?
Himeo, stop.
I don't see the point in lying to them.
And yet... Look, there are still chances to win the council over. The week isn't done yet.
But our specific chances for presenting for them are...
Knihak.
I've got to be honest, Percy. You're going to have to win them over with gossip because the scales are not in your favor.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Knihak.
I don't understand. I watched you make that presentation. How did this happen?
I don't know, buddy. Got thrown off my game, I guess.
Well, I hope you get back on it. There's still time.
I just need some alone time with Quinn right now.
I understand. Come on, we'll give them their privacy.
So, What do you think this was? You said before...
Someone messed with it, Quinn.
Okay. Let's just think for 1 second that someone did mess with your presentation.
Oh, I know for a fact someone did.
But how can you be sure someone maliciously screwed up your PowerPoint?
Quinn, we went to school together. You know for a damn fact I can pull shit out of my ass better than that. Someone messed with my presentation.
All right. I got it. But who?
I don't know. I don't want to suspect Kamui or Knihak, but...
They were the only ones in the library with us before.
Right. I mean, it doesn't make sense for them to. Knihak seems to like me, and Kamui may not be my biggest fan, but I don't think she's anyone's. But I don't know anyone else here who could access the presentations.
Anyone on the ship.
Wait, what?
You must have been too deep in your "I've been wronged" to notice that one of the council members announced that all were welcome to peruse the presentations on their own time.
Great. Really narrows down our suspect list.
Okay, so do we have any idea why someone might have screwed with your presentation?
Those other agents.
The ones that got shot down?
Yeah, what if the same people behind that are behind this?
You do realize you're accusing a ruler of committing murder surrounding a peace conference.
Don't you think it's odd that someone tried to prevent those before us from making it here in order to prompt an invasion, and my failure here also sets us up for invasion?
Look, I'm not saying that you don't have a point, but Reed thinks that that might have been more of a rebel group trying to get attention or start shit or something. It just doesn't make sense.
I know it doesn't make sense! But what am I supposed to say at this point? I know only as much as you know. And you know more than I do.
Percy, is now really the time to get pissy over the past?
Well, if you would just share with me...
We don't exactly have that kind of time right now. Look, let's just survive today and deal with tomorrow, okay?
Fine.
Good. Now to the topic at hand. We don't know why we're being sabotaged, at least for the moment. But let's circle back to whom.
Good idea. If we can just figure out who's out to get us, then maybe we can catch them in the act.
What will we do then? Report them to the council? No. If we catch them, then we can avoid them or stay a few steps ahead of them.
What? Of course we report them to the council. How can we stay 2 steps ahead of them when we can barely work the PowerPoint projector?
Point.
And we might look better in the council's eyes if we can find them and stop Earth from being invaded.
Perfect. But where do we start? There's so many rulers here and even fewer who we've talked to.
Then let's start with the ones we know. King Ampoll?
He seemed to like you and doesn't really have hostility towards either of us. And he was genuinely interested in our presentation. Not to say that we should eliminate him, but it doesn't seem likely.
While that may be true, we have to pull on our detective cows and start treating this like a real Scooby-Doo mystery.
Percy, I know the Batman Scooby-Doo episode was a great crossover, but...
But nothing! Bruce would be disappointed in you, Quinny. Now then, sometimes the perp is the one least suspected, and that means King Ampoll.
Right. But think about this. We can't just go up to him and start accusing him like a game of Clue. We have to be subtle and professional. If he thinks that you're implying that he did something, well, that could be incredibly offensive and might make us look even worse.
I'm not just gonna go charging in and pointing fingers.
I didn't say you were. I just am saying that let's see about our enemies before we go after our friends.
So who do you suggest?
Wasn't there some queen you severely pissed off?
Oh yeah, Mieli.
Yeah, Mieli. Didn't she threaten you?
Well, yeah, but it's not like I didn't like it.
Okay, bedroom tendencies aside, don't you think that makes her a reasonable suspect?
Fair. Let's get started.
Just be careful. I'll contact Reed and let them know our situation. And please, for the love of God, don't make anything worse.
Well, I'm not gonna try and do that, Quinn.
You are an incredibly unlucky human, Percy. Just try, alright? I'll meet you in our room afterwards.
Yeah. I watched for a moment as Quinn left me to return to our quarters. This was turning out to be a real circus show. If someone was trying to demolish our chances at independence, why? What will they gain out of it? I guess war is profit no matter what planet you're on. Either way, I needed to find Mieli. I wandered through the Ozma, carefully dodging the side-eyed looks I was receiving, before I saw Mieli walking towards the library. Well, here it was, the moment of truth.
And speak of the Persephone, Duri and I were just talking about you.
Oh, all good things, I hope? Right, well, how are you doing?
My queen, Queen Persephone, I believe it would be wise if the two of you were not seen speaking to each other.
I'm quite well enough to make the decision for myself, Duri.
Miss, I really don't think you should.
Quiet, Duri!
Wow, okay, well, anyways. Mieli, I was hoping to speak with you.
Why? Looking to fool me again? You enjoy trying to wage wars? It looks like I dodged a bullet regarding your species.
Your Highness, I would strongly recommend against that. Both of your reputations are already tarnished at this point, and truly...
Duri, I am in no mood to be lectured by my assistant.
Of course, miss, but I think for your future safety it would be best.
Duri, take a hint and be silent. I will do as I please.
Miss!
Go! Leave us now! Persephone wishes to humiliate herself again. I have the greatest wish of observing it.
Miss, I think...
You aren't here to think. You are here to do as I say, and I say, go.
Yes, miss.
Well, what could it possibly be? Haven't you heard me enough on this conference?
Mieli.
I think we're behind first name basis now, don't you?
Of course, Queen Mieli. I'm not here to talk about the other day, but I did want to say sorry again. I really had no intention of that happening. Really.
Whatever. Grovelling isn't going to fix what you've done.
I'm aware. I just wanted you to know.
Well then. Now I know. Is that all?
No, actually, there's something else.
Then spit it out. You're wasting my time.
It's about my presentation.
You call that train wreck a presentation? That's hilarious. If you're asking for my planet to invade yours when the Council rejects Earth, I won't be kind. I don't forget, and I don't forgive easily.
I see that, and no, that's not what I'm here to ask.
Shame. Though I suppose you could go to King Ampoll or Queen Tisha to ask for invasion. They might be kinder.
No, I'm not asking advice about the invasion. My presentation was bad, but I was working on it a few minutes before I presented it. Just, finishing touches. And the thing is, it didn't look like that.
So what?
So, it's just odd that it was fine minutes before.
What, are you saying someone messed with it? Blaming someone else for your problems? I've certainly never thought highly of you after our ordeal, but I imagined you were better than this.
Mieli, please. Someone is trying to screw me over. Someone purposely messed with my presentation, removed crucial information.
You think it was me?
Mieli, you're the only one who I've directly had bad interactions with. I just want to check.
You think, after everything you put me through, I would be even slightly bothered to have anything to do with you? That I would sink so low? To your level? That is rich.
Mieli.
I am a queen, Persephone. A queen. And I know how to act like one.
That's great. I get it. But taking more stabs at me isn't proving anything.
And what would you have me do?
Answer my question for once.
No, Percy. I didn't touch your trash presentation.
Thank you. That's a relief.
So glad to put your mind at ease.
Well, I know I did you wrong, but I knew you were always a better person, for lack of a better word, than I am. Especially at this.
Don't brown-nose Persephone. It doesn't fit you.
Well, you're not wrong.
Now then, if we're done here?
Yeah, that's all.
Good. I would say it was a pleasure speaking to you, but I'm not a liar. Good day.
As I watched Mieli stride away, I wanted to shake my head. Man, she was still pissed. I wasn't sure if I could rule her out yet as someone who messed with the presentation, but at least I could start looking at other leads. If there were any. Which, there are none. So I guess it was time to head back to Quinn. Hopefully she had had more luck.
So, how did it go?
Could have been better.
What did you do?
I just mean that she's still mad at me. Nothing else happened.
I've been holding my breath here waiting, but I didn't hear any explosions or otherwise, so I tried to think everything was going to be okay.
It is. Okay, listen. Mieli seems convinced that I don't need assistance fucking things up, so I'm kinda sure it wasn't her. How are things on your end?
If Reed knows something, he won't tell me.
You think he does?
I can't figure him out. Reed has always been on a strict need-to-know basis when it comes to information, but he's also an incredibly good liar. So if he does know something and just doesn't want to tell us...
We'd have no clue.
Exactly.
Man, this is just insane. Who else could be this driven to take us out?
Well, it's like King said. Earth has access to a variety of resources, so who knows who could get desperate enough to try and get their hands on that.
Desperate enough to shoot down previous leaders?
All's fair in love and war. If they're cold-hearted or feel they're doing the right thing, or who knows.
I thought you said Reed said it was a rebel group.
He does, but...
You don't think that anymore.
After my talk with him, I don't know. I just have this gut feeling that he's hiding something. But of course I have no proof.
So now you think it's the same people?
I'm not sure. We need to be more careful either way.
Right, as if we didn't have enough on our hands. Now we get to worry about someone being after our fucking planet on top of trying not to be found out as fucking galactic
You called
imposters.
for me, Persephone?
Oh shit! AI!
Report imposter report the Ozma. Report to our ship. Sending call for security. Report.
Project Ozma is a Goose Thunder Network-produced podcast. Today's episode, Percy and Quinn in the Case of the Eff-ed Up PowerPoint, was written by Sterling Rae and Megan and edited by Ylva, with sound editing by Cole Burkhart. Music was composed and performed by Benny James. The voices you heard in today's episode in order of appearance were Owen as Knihak, Greg Froese as Taunik, Ari as Kamui, Allison as Percy, Jason as Ampoll, Celine as Tilare, Alan Winter as Himeo, Petra as Quinn, Emma Currans as Mieli, Sarah Brown as Duri, and Benny James as AI. Want to continue to stay up to date on all things Ozma? Follow us on Tumblr at Project-Ozma, on Instagram at Project Ozma Podcast, or on Twitter at Project Ozma.